This is me when I was 15 years old. An average student who doesn't even know what he wants to be in the future. As in, ang gusto ko lang maging is maging animator katulad ng uncle ko. 10 years after, this is me, a licensed architect. The gap when I was 15 years old and now 25 years old is really a shaky path for me. And so just to share you something, we are going to be talking about my architecture journey in 15 minutes. Let's go. In school to high school, this phase is my phase wherein, again, I wasn't really sure on what I wanted to be in the future. All I ever did was to play basketball, dance, and to sketch. And so I'm studying Don Bosco Makati, which is a technical school. And if you're not familiar with a technical school, nagkaturo sila ng mga technical subjects or programs wherein hindi siya tinuturo on a normal school, which is just a general education. Pagdating mo ng first year of high school, we are being taught with 6 main programs: electronics, electrical, automotive, mechanical, computer technology, and industrial drafting. And so just like what I've told you before, I am into sketching. And so definitely when I've got into first year of high school, ang pinili ko instantly is industrial drafting. Kasi related siya sa sketching. And so doon pa lang ako namulat with what is drafting, what is industrial drafting, what are drafting tools. From there, I've had a small amount of learning with plans, with orthographic views, plans, floor plans, those stuff that is really related to architecture. And so when I've reached 4th year, my dad told me to just choose civil engineering. Kasi sabi niya, mas may pera dun. When, I don't know, with my engineer friends if that's true. And so, still being interested with sketching, what I chose is somewhat in the middle of what my dad wants and what I want, which is animation. My dad wants me to be a civil engineer, so pinili ko architecture. Di ko lang ba't doon ako napunta, pero at least something to do with building, something to do with sketching. I only applied into 2 universities. Isa doon is DLSU and second is UST. Di ako nag-try mag-apply sa Mapua or CSB, which is hindi ko lang bakit. And so, kumbaga a risk that I did take. And so, De La Salle University, I took civil engineering on that university and I did not pass. Sa UST naman, I chose architecture as my main course and then secondary is yung civil engineering, which again, my dad wants me to be. And so, anong nangyari is, I was only waitlisted. So, wala talaga akong napasahan nun instantly. Wala akong specific na slot with any of those 2 schools. And so, being waitlisted, meron kang need na gawin na exam. And that is drawing examination. Luckily, it is drawing examination. Kasi, kasi nga, I'm into sketching, so parang at least sabi ko, at least hindi siya examination like any academics or anything like that. And so what happened was, I did pass the examination. I remember drawing a building. And that's where I became officially a Thomasan. This was me when I was in my first year. And ito yung phase ko din na may pagka-chill pa talaga ako. Well, actually, for the whole duration of my college phase up until 4th year or thesis year, I was just a chill. Kumbaga, I remained an average student. When I got into College of Architecture, hindi ko in-expect na sobrang gagaling pala ng mga tao dun. For a kid who doesn't really know what he wants to be in the future, then being with a lot of people that might really want architecture as their course, well, definitely, nakita mo agad yung comparison in terms of skills, comparison in terms of motivation, comparison in terms of inspiration. There's a lot of push with other people compared to mine na parang a bit shallow. And so, if you're not familiar with UST, meron silang tinatawag na cut-off every first year. So, need mong ma-maintain ang average grade ng isang batch for you to remain a student in the College of Architecture in UST. And so, I'm sharing this kasi I did not pass the cutoff. Hindi ko alam if you got it right, but I'll try to share a different video regarding the cutoff of UST. I had 3 options when I failed the cutoff. First is, magkakaroon ako ng instant slot in UST but industrial design. Second is, to continue your architecture journey but on a different university. So you would be instantly kicked off or kicked out in UST. And last is to wait for 1 year before you may resume with your architecture journey. And so I did the latter one, which is having a gap year. Just to share, I guess one of the things that played a big role or factor in me not passing the cutoff is the lack of priorities. I wasn't really focused on architecture, but rather, lagi ako nakikipaglaro with my friends every after school, or instead of doing my plates, I play video games with my friends. Pumunta ako sa dorm nila to play PS4 or to kumbaga tatambay lang, and instead of doing the things that I should be focusing on, that happened. And so I had to face the consequences of my actions. After the gap year, definitely I came back and resumed my architecture journey. Second to fourth year was very interesting to me because from second to third year, I was only doing traditional drawings. Wala pa akong gaming laptop noon or architecture laptop wherein it is required for us to be able to produce renders or digital drawings. And so having a weak laptop, hindi niya kakayanin yung mga programs that architecture requires. I only worked on traditional drawings and definitely nakapagpasa naman ako. I was able to submit the things that I need to submit in terms of project, but compared to other people, my blockmates, syempre ibang-iba yung quality ng renders or realistic drawings compared to traditional drawings. Well, I feel like there's different pros and cons on those things, but ayun. Up until fourth year, I've got my first laptop. I've got my first architecture laptop. And I'm thankful for my parents for being able to provide it. And so from there, I've learned how to do digital drawings, AutoCAD, SketchUp, those stuff. But I'm still a complacent student. Hindi pa rin ako nagpa-practice or nag-give time for me to learn different things kasi definitely I lost a big amount of years of, instead of learning these things, I was only doing traditional drawing. After fourth year was when COVID happened and everything stopped. A lot of people had lost their jobs, a lot of people had problems mentally, and I believe na it was one of the hardest phase of my architecture journey. Being stuck in our own homes and still continuing these things, for example, college, work from home, was very exhausting. Kasi wala kang switch off environment nun eh. So what happened to me was when I reached fifth year, it was the COVID phase and it was also my thesis year. My thesis advisor once told me this one, that if you're choosing your own thesis concept or your thesis project, make sure that it's close to your heart. And so I was into basketball, like what I've said earlier. And so ang pinili kong project is sports complex and recreational grounds. Definitely, I am a sports enthusiast. I love playing basketball. I'm into NBA as well. And so those things sparked me into why I chose that project. I remember na yung presentation namin is instead of being face-to-face, since it's the lockdown and we have COVID way back then, I presented via Zoom. And definitely it was, I guess, I don't know if it's better than doing it face-to-face. Probably some people may say face-to-face has its own pros and cons, and on the other hand, presentation via Zoom has its own pros and cons as well. And I believe every one of us has or faced their struggles throughout the COVID. And so, gratefully, I finished my architecture course. After I took a 1-month break, not really sure kung specific bang 1-month break or just a couple of weeks, after I decided to ask help for my mom, kasi definitely it's really hard to get a job sa pandemic. And I was able to get my first job into a construction / project management company. I stayed there for 1 year and probably 2 months. I learned a lot of things there, especially project management. But what's funny is when you work for a small company is you do a lot of things. From buying your boss a cup of coffee to doing printing stuff to doing interior renderings, definitely that's part of it. And actually, ang laking diversity yung ginagawa mo kapag nasa small company ka rather. So, if you are just choosing whether to be on a big company or small company, I recommend being on a small one kasi definitely you would be doing a lot of things. And that's better if you are aiming for more experience. After, I decided to look for a design company. Specifically, design talaga siya. And I was able to get another job, my second job as an apprentice. And it was again a design company. We worked on various high-end residential projects and other commercial projects as well. I learned a lot of things as well in there. Actually, may iba-iba silang talagang pros and cons. And so, if I would have another recommendation, it is to have 2 different companies before ka mag-take ng licensure examination. And so, after my 2 years of apprenticeship, I was already eligible to take the boards. Nag-take ako ng review leave for my examinations. Actually, fun fact is, on my first attempt to take the boards or to do reviews, I stopped dun sa first trial ko. I was supposed to take it by June 2023 or July. But then, I had problems whether I'm sure or I'm ready to take the boards. Parang hindi pa pala. Parang ang dami ko pang kulang. And so, I stopped and sabi ko parang abort muna. Let's just take it on January 2024. I delayed it for a couple of months and then decided to review back again from last January 2024 as well. Or if you haven't already, I have a video regarding my own preparation with examinations, and I also have a video with my interview with the top notchers last January 2024. I'm going to be putting the links here or under the description. Feel free to check the videos in there. After a lot of preparation, gratefully, I passed the examinations. I am now a licensed architect here in the Philippines and I can practice architecture. I've been talking for a long ass time, and so I hope if you reach the end of this video, I hope that you've gained something from here. I hope that probably I did motivate you or you got some insights, or if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, to just message away or to ask something. Definitely, what I'm sharing is just a summarized version of my own journey. Siyempre, di ko pa na-share yung other things that affected me negatively, that motivated me, that made me question things. And so, just try to put some grain of salt that what I'm experiencing or what I have experienced may be different from yours. What I just want to share for the last time is to just trust your own journey and to really aim to enjoy, to work on the things that you should be working on, you should be focusing on. Have this mindset of first things first, priority muna over other things. You may enjoy even though you're prioritizing. Maybe I have my own mistakes, but I still did pass, but that makes me want to share some things na pinagkamalian ko, and I want to tell you to focus on what matters.